Hello and welcome to another Tabletop Ramblings SBG Battle Report. Today's battle sees the Elves of Rivendell, led by Elrond's twin sons, Elladan and Elrohir, facing off against the Cirith Ungol Legendary Legion. This will be a 400-point game of domination. The Elves have just a single warband, and that's Elladan and Elrohir, with Elladan, or whichever the ginger twin is, being the leader. And they're accompanied by 2 knights with shield. They have 5 high elves with shield, 3 with spear and shield, 1 with a spear and shield and a banner, and then 3 bowmen. And Elladan and Elrohir have their horses, heavy armour and bows. The Legendary Legion of Cirith Ungol is led by Shagrat Warleader, and he has 4 of the Mordor Uruk-hai with bows. He's accompanied by Gorbag with 5 orcs with shield, one of whom has a 2-handed weapon, and he has 5 spearmen with shield and 1 spear, shield and banner. They also have the big beastie Shelob. The battle takes place on the outskirts of Cirith Ungol. Amidst the scattered ruins and rock formations, there are 5 objectives. One objective is automatically in the centre, and then good and evil alternate between each other to choose the locations of another 4 objectives. So in case you can't see, the objectives are down in the bottom right, there's one in the centre on the left, up at the top, up there on those rocks, and then in the centre. The game lasts until one force has been reduced to 25%, after which the victory points are counted up. 2 victory points are awarded for each of the objectives that your team has a model within 3 inches of at the end of the game. And you score 1 victory point for each objective that your side has more models within 3 inches, but it is contested. You also score 1 victory point for either wounding or killing the enemy leader. And finally, 1 victory point is awarded if the enemy force is broken at the end of the game. So we've seen the armies and we know the scenario. Let the game begin. We'll roll for deployment with green for good and red for evil. And it goes to the forces of Rivendell to choose their deployment first. This is the board at the end of deployment. Rivendell, winning the roll-off to deploy first, decided that they would deploy far enough back that they would at least get a round of shooting with their elven bows. And they have deployed at the back there, making headway on 2 objectives. Their deployment has been countered by the forces of Cirith Ungol, with Shagrat deploying in the centre so that his archers were within 6, facing off against their counterparts in the Elven force, and then Gorbag deployed with his leader, and his orcs have surrounded and formed a nice little shield wall, with 2 of the orcs making a break for objectives. And then Shelob has just gone down, ready to hold a flank. And so we roll for turn 1 priority. And turn 1 goes to good. This is how the board is looking at the end of turn 1 priority. The elves have just backed off so that they will be able to be charged on the front line, but not their cavalry. They didn't really want priority this turn, wanting to be able to react, but they've made the best of the situation. Their archers have stayed still to get shots. The Orc and Uruk horde have advanced in the centre. Gorbag, Shagrat and the orcs are charging forward. The bowmen are going to try and shoot the elves, try and beat them in a shooting war. They should probably go into combat to try and get the animosity rule, where if there's an orc and an urukai in the same combat, they get +1 to wound. But at this point, they're going to stand and shoot. The 2 runner orcs have got closer to their chosen objectives, and Shelob has been able to move right up on top of that central rock formation, moving 4 inches and then 4 up, allowing her to climb up and be able to charge the elves next turn. We do have some shots, and these 2 archers are going to open up proceedings by firing down onto those uruks. They've not moved, so they're hitting on 3s and 2 6s. Very strong start. Defense 4 on the urukai is 5s to wound, but that is a 4 and a 1. No scores there from the elves. The knight there has moved too far, but the leader there, either Eladan or Elrahir, but they're differentiated by one being ginger and one being brunette. The ginger one is going to shoot. He's moved. He is going to shoot the bowman to take away that ranged threat. He hits, but does not wound. And then there's the other twin and a knight. They don't have shots on the bowman, so they're going to go for Shelob. So the knight hits. Does he wound? Needing a 6. No. No wound there. And then the twin misses. So a bad round of shooting from the elves. Evil shooting. We come down to these 4 bowmen who have decided that they are going to open fire on the archers up at the top. They've moved, so they're hitting on 5s. Good start, 5 and a 6. Above average. Their strength 3 on defense 5, so needing 5s. So the Uruk bow, and there we go, a 5. Archery doing the work there for the Urukai. End of turn 1, with arrows flying in both directions, an elf has fallen. Let's get into turn 2 priority. And it goes again to Rivendell. End of turn 2 movement, and the elves have charged. They didn't really want priority. They'd have preferred to have reacted, getting charges off safely. But as it is, they have been forced to charge. They've gone in. They've managed to get both of their heroes into combat, and the lines have clashed. In Evil's move, Shelob has come down and across and has gone in on that spearman. She's chosen not to go for the hero because in combat he'll just strike up, whereas there, with the threat of a barge, he may have to strike up and waste the might. Here, however, things could be off to a very quick bloody start, as it is leader on leader with an elven charge there. The Uruk bows advanced. Those 2 have half moved, ready to shoot. And these 2 managed to climb up onto that rock. They've moved full. Importantly, this warrior here and this bowman there have fully surrounded their leader to stop any nasty Shelob shenanigans from being able to affect him. Shelob's unable to barge. Even if she gets a 6, she won't be able to get in to the leader. So that is how the board is looking. Let's go into the shoot phase. Start the shoot phase. The 2 knights don't have any clear shots, and this archer has moved too far. But up there, 1 shot, that elf is going to shoot at one of those approaching Uruks. Oh, get a green dice. He hits on a 6, good strong start. It's a 5+ to wound, and another 6. He shoots him with that. So the guy from the front is down. For evil shooting, these 2 Uruks who've moved, so they're hitting on 5s, are going to get revenge and shoot that archer up there. 1 hit, needing a 5, a 2. No kill there from the orcs. And we'll go into the combat phase. Start of the combat phase, and most things are striking up. The fight here, Shagrat is striking, and either Eladan or Elrahir is striking to compensate. And then over here, this twin is also striking. He does not want Shelob to pounce on him, because Shelob is a mighty fight 6. And with her special rule from the Legion of liking tasty sweetmeats, she gets +1 attack to elves. So on the charge, she is 3 attacks with knockdown. She is brutal. So he does not want to risk getting annihilated by her. You might be wondering why this little elf didn't move there to protect the other twin, and this one protect the ginger twin from Shelob, is that he would have just been hurled into the twin and across the line. And so this is probably the lesser of 2 evils. Might be right, might be wrong. Do comment below if you think it should have been played differently. We'll do the fights going along the line. It's good priority. So it's the twin, 3 attacks on the charge against 2. Oh, and it goes to evil. There is a banner. Does it pay off? Yes, the elven banner there. Well worth its points, as it saves him a point of might. These are re-rollable, and as these are just standard orcs, not the Moranon profile, they're just normal orcs, defense 5. He is strength 4. He's needing 5s. Nothing on the first set. He does get double strikes. 4 high. That is atrocious from the Elven Lord there. He is knocked prone. Pop a prone marker on him. That is a bad effort there from the brunette twin there. We'll do this fight next. That elf no longer trapped because the twin will be able to make way. That's just a 1-on-1. And that warrior is not going to 2-hand. It goes again to evil with a 1 there, but there is the banner reroll. Back to a 1. Wow, that is a very, very bad show so far from the elves. The warrior there not even needing to use that banner. It's quite a small banner there. You might not be able to see it very easily. I'll swap him out in a minute. But he's going to make strikes. The elf does have a shield. I'll just back him away. The elf does have a shield, so he's going to be only taking wounds on a 6. Oh, and it is a 6. He goes down. Oh, it's a bad day to be an elf today. Wow, that was a bad combat there for the elves. They're going to make up for it here, though, with a 2-on-2. Though one of those is the mighty Gorbag. Gorbag has a special rule where he gets +1 fight and +1 to wound. 1 attack, rather, against when he's outnumbered, but it doesn't count with spear support. So this fight, he's still 2 attacks and fight value 4. So the elves, if they get the 6, guaranteed to win. Oh, they don't. They actually lose, but they've got the banner. No, 1 into a 1. Oh dear. So the elves have lost. The banner is a 6 to wound, and it's 5s from Gorbag. No. Oh yes, that's Gorbag. Gorbag gets the kill. They just about back away, but he goes down on the way. Bad start there for the elves. Ouch. We then have a 2-on-2. So that is, in fact, we'll just do 1 for now for the elf. He needs, so the banner there will get a -1, so he's unable to beat it, but with the banner reroll for the guy in the front, no. They've lost again. That is a bad showing there. So needing 6s to kill. No, not this time. They are safe. Although he could well be trapped. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. It's hard to move everything back properly while holding a camera. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. He is not trapped. The next fight is this 2-on-2. And again, 6s for evil. An outstanding showing. Can the banner do its work again and get the 6? No. And they are forced to back away. The elves not doing anything. They need to start showing up. 6s to kill again. Oh, 2 6s! Unbelievable. That elf is dead. This could be a very, very quick game. That is incredible from the warriors of the line. Wow, that was brutal. As we go into the hero combats then, the elves really need to win this. If they can do some damage or even kill Shagrat here, they will more than make up for the dead elves. So these are the strike-off roll. The elf there has the higher value already. Oh, and they're both fight 10. Wow, this is going to be a close fought fight. So they're both 3 attacks each. And then the spearman is the different dice. Both fight 10 and they both get the 6. It is going to be a roll-off. Elven Blade, though, does give the elf the advantage. So it's only a 1 or a 2 for evil. It's a 1. Unbelievable. The elf backs away and he is going to take strikes. That is brutal there. Let's just pick up these stray dice. And that one there. That was a very, very bad turn. And it could get worse as that orc spearman is going for the horse. 5+. A 1. And they don't have the Mordor army bonus to re-roll 1s. Let's fish that out. So Shagrat, strength 5. He's going for the horse. He needs 4s. No. Going for the horse. Yes. The horse goes down. There's no horse lord on that elf. And then he's going to put his other strike onto the elf. And it's a 5 with his mighty strength 5. He has wounded the enemy leader who fates it. Cocked. Who successfully fates it. So having backed away and being dismounted and having to use a point of fate, will now do his Throne Rider. He's absolutely fine there on the 5. That was a horrendous turn to be an elf. And it's not quite over. There's still Shelob. Shelob there. 3 attacks on the charge. Fight 7 against a shielding spearman. Oh, a 1 and a 2 for the elf. And it's a 6-5-5 from Shelob. Even with a banner, there is nothing that can be done there. That is brutal. She's just against him. And she can barge. But first, we'll just roll his strike to see what he will go up to. He is fight 9, so Shelob isn't going to attempt to go into him. But what she is going to do is barge him, so he is thrown like a rag doll 3 inches. Oh dear, caught there. And then she's just going to roll. How far does she get to move? 6 inches. She is going to still just move a tiny little bit there and go in on 1 and the banner. On the charge, she needs this 6. Let's hope she's not been too greedy. Oh, she might have been there. There's 2 spear supports. Oh, not very good. The banner himself. That's -1. So banner reroll. Oh, unbelievable. A 3 high from 3 elves with a banner reroll. Shelob has won. Oh, wow. This is not good for the elves. So now she has 3 double strikes re-rolling all wounds. So this elf backs off and is unable to get in fact can be touching that chap there. So on the banner, 6 easily kills him. So we'll swap him to that guy in a second. And then that chap there is dead as well with 2 5s. Shelob absolutely annihilating there. That was brutal. It's only the end of turn 2 and the elves have taken a beating. 6 dead elves and a fate and the horse off their leader for 1 Uruk bowman. The elves have just been smashed to bits by rank and file and hero alike. As we go into turn 3, let's hope that they can pull this out the bag and start getting some killing on very, very quickly. Priority goes to evil. So it's going to be a heroic move from one of those twins. So after a moment's thought, it's going to be the brunette twin calling a heroic move, and he will be able to get all except that bowman and the cavalry. He's going to be countered by Gorbag there. And just before we do, just remembered as well, that banner is going to magically be transformed into a more visible banner. And just like that, the banner is easier to see. I've remembered now why I don't tend to play with that other banner. Very difficult to see. So it's the roll-off, Gorbag and the brown-haired twins. Heroic moves goes to Gorbag. Oh, it makes me cry for the elves. It looks like this could be a very, very quick game, as Gorbag is going to move and he's going to shout with me. They are going to start surrounding some poor, tasty elves. With the heroic move roll-off not going in Rivendell's favour, everything is starting to look very, very messy. It's a bad time to be an elf, as everything there has been charged. The only saving grace is that their Shelob has been countercharged by the cavalry. The 2 heroes facing off. The spearman, because of the way the heroic moved, had to charge to negate the control zone of that archer. And there, Gorbag is keeping no secrets about the fact that he is getting ready for a heroic combat. Here, the other twin, with just 1 might left, has not got any charge bonus, so if he calls a heroic combat, it will be very high risk. Up here, the archer has gone for the objective and has been countercharged by the elf. And this moronic Uruk archer failed his climb, got a 1 and fell back and is now prone. Over here, this knight is getting ready to defend that objective and to take shots at this little pirate orc who is going to claim that objective. Into the shoot phase, we have the knight who is going to shoot at this orc. He's got a clean shot and he's not moved, so he's hitting on 3s. A 5, so he's hit. He's a 5+ to wound the orc. A 3. Not nearly enough. If they were the other way around, if it was a 3 to hit and a 5 to wound, he'd have done it. But as it is, that is not enough to wound the orc. Start of the combat phase, and the elven leader is going to strike, and Shagrat is also going to strike. And then here, Gorbag is going to spend a point of might to call a heroic combat. We'll start with the heroic combat, and that elf does have the fight value, but he's got a banner, so he's -1 on his roll. So we get to 5, we'll do his reroll now. No, so that's a 5 down to a 4. So Gorbag now really doesn't want to bottle this. Yeah, there he gets the 5. He has won the fight, and he is going to be making double strikes against that elf. So his first set of double strikes, wounding on 5s, just a 3 and a 1. Second set, he gets the 5, and the banner is down. So these back away because they had trapped the enemy. And then we'll come back after they have moved. After that heroic combat, Gorbag has charged into the brown-haired twin, and the spearman that was in that fight has gone and pulled the rider off that was attacking Shelob. Then the banner has just gone to spear support Shagrat. We'll stick with Gorbag, and we'll do Gorbag and 2 against the trapped elven hero. If he gets the 6, he will win the fight and be safe, but that is a 3 high. Oh dear. He does have 1 point of might, so he might get incredibly lucky, but we shall see. So it's Gorbag in the big red and the little red for the orcs. We didn't declare it, so he is not going to 2-hand. Oh, I thought that was going to go to the elf there, but on the 5, Gorbag wins it, and there is nothing that the twin can do. This is not going well for Rivendell. These are all double strikes. In fact, their first double strike is going to be on a horse, needing 5s. What's that? That is a 5. It is. It's a 5, and the horse is dead. So then the next strike is going to be on him, needing 6s from the orc. Nothing at all. And then Gorbag, his strikes, these are all Gorbag strikes, are just going to be needing 5s. And that is 2 wounds on the twin. Ouch. He does have fate. We'll just come back in a second once we've double checked how much. Right, so the twin has 2 fate. So Gorbag is going to spend his last point of might to up that 4 to a 5. Which means now the twin is under pressure to pass both of those fate rolls. Oh, and it's a 6 and a 5. That is massive for the elf there. He is absolutely fine, untouched by Gorbag and his comrades. He's unhorsed and out of might, but he is fine. Let's just do his Throne Rider. A 3. So he's on his feet and he's ready to fight. That is a good result for the elves. Ish. He's still unhorsed and still battered. We'll then come to this fight here, which is a 2-on-1, while that elf is going to shield. He's won. Well done, elf. He's successfully shielded, pushing those 2 orcs back towards the objective. But at least he didn't die, so that's quite good. We'll leave that maelstrom for a second, and we'll do this 1-on-1. Archer on archer. It goes to the elf. He needs a 5. No, just a 1. Pushing that Mordor Uruk back. We then have this fight here. So we'll start off behind Shelob with the 1-on-1. The elf did charge. We'll just check if Shelob counts as infantry as to whether he would have got his charge bonus. Shelob is infantry, so he has got his charge bonus and he will get knocked down on the orc there as he's been pulled off, and it's just an infantry on charging cavalry fight. Not 100% sure if that's the right way to do it, but it seems like that's how the rules should be. Do comment below if it's wrong. The orc's going to shield, and he wins. Get in there, Mr. Orc. Pushing that knight back. It's then a... Ooh. These fights are now starting to trap the leader, so we'll do that fight next. So that is... This is for the strike-off. Oh, both fight 10. The elf on the ground now actually has more attacks, and he is going to use his 3 attacks to try and win this fight. He gets the 6, so he's off to a good start there. That is a good start for the elves. We'll roll Shelob's attacks now. Shelob doesn't get the 6. We then have Shagrat's And he definitely does. 3 6s. That is incredible work there, Shagrat. Wow. If only that was to wound, that would be amazing. But winning the fight would be just as good, as that elf is pretty much cooked if he loses. Goes to a roll-off. With Elven Blades, it's the elf on a 3+. And on the 4, he has won. He's going to put his 3 strikes, needing 6s on Shagrat. That is a wound on Shagrat. He smashes through his shield and his heavy armour, and he does a wound to Shagrat. Just whack them away while we destroy everything. So that is Shagrat taking a wound. He's got 3 fates, so he's quite hardy. And he successfully fates it. So that is 1 fate off Shagrat Warleader. A good turnaround there for the elves. Still got some more fights though. We've got a 1-on-1. We'll fight that, and it goes to evil. Needing 6s. No, just a 1. The elf backs off. We then have another 1-on-1. Rescue that dice there. Cocked. Easily gets in there with the 6, and then another 6 will kill him. Cocked again. A 1. That elf backs away. And the final fight is this 2-on-1. And this fight, if the elf loses, will be +1 to wound from the orc and Uruk-hai because of animosity. Oh, they tried there with, even though that's cocked, we'll call it a 6 because it doesn't matter because the elf has also got a 6. So he's going after the Uruk. Doesn't kill him, but he has pushed them back. And that is the end of the combat phase. Only the end of turn 3, and this is how the board is looking. The elves nearly broken. This has been a very quick and bloody game. The elves are still fighting hard, but the objectives are starting to fall to the Orc and Uruk alliance. Let's go into turn 4 priority. And it goes to Cirith Ungol. With Cirith Ungol's priority, there's only 1 point of might apiece on the board, and that is Shagrat and the elven leader, either Elrahir or Eladan, not sure which. And he's going to need that for striking. So the elves are not going to call a heroic move, giving the orcs complete control over who and where the charges are going to be. This is the board at the end of turn 4. This orc here on the objective just hid, holding his sword out, so that the archer up there, that knight, can see the sword, but unable to target the model, so he won't have a shot. That's his orc middle finger to the elf. In the centre, everything has just charged in one big scrum. Gorbag and 2 have gone back into the twin to finish him off. The fighting here was made a little bit difficult by control zones. Shelob and Shagrat couldn't get in together on the enemy leader, so instead they've both gone into that elf for a potential heroic combat. The rest of the elves have just been tagged. And then up here, this Uruk stood and managed to successfully climb that bit of rock, and here the 2 archers are going to fight over that objective. That then is the board. There's no shooting. We'll go straight into combats. We'll start off with the archer fight. It's a 1-on-1 again. Oh, and it goes to the elf on a 5. But that 4 is not enough to kill. We then have a 1-on-1 here. The knight didn't charge. And it goes to the orc, who needs a 6 or a 5 on the horse. He's going to go for the horse, and he gets him. That is a dead horse, so we have Throne Rider. No, he is fine, but he is dismounted. We'll then do this one-on-one here, which goes to the elf. 4, not enough to wound. Pushes him back. We then have a 2-on-1. And that elf there is trapped. He's not got a shield, so he's just going to have to fight. Oh, he loses there. So this now is a nasty roll. It's 5s, but +1 to wound with animosity. Oh dear. A 1 high doesn't get the kill. Oh, but trapped. Will it do it? No. Another 2 and a 3. That is pants. So they back away, and that elf is fine. Which leaves a 2-on-1, but that one is the elven leader. So he's going to set the bar. He's got the fight value, and he's got the 6. Needing 5s to wound. Wipes the floor with that chap there. The evil plan of not calling a heroic combat and just thinning out the elven lines before charging the heroes has potentially backfired here, as they have done very little to the elves this turn. We'll do this fight though. We'll do Shagrat and his spider friend. We'll do Shagrat first. 5 high. Shelob. 4. What does the elf shielding get? 2 3s. That is not good. We'll just have a quick look at whether Shelob will be able to barge onto the leader. So Shelob is 2 and a bit inches away and will fit through that gap. So she is going to attempt to barge her way onto the leader. The setup for the heroic combat that then never happened has managed to trick the elf into thinking he was safe, and he has not struck up. So this is going to come down to this dice roll on a 3+. Oh, a 5. She can move 5 inches, so she backs him away 3, and he is prone. We'll put prone marker on him in a second. And she can move into these 2 with control zone. She's going to have to charge both, so she is going to need to roll high here. We'll do this combat straight away. She needs 6s. Oh, that's atrocious. A 2 high. Shelob has bottled it. The elven leader gets the 6. Shelob has a banner though. So if this is a 6, she's in a very good position. If not, she may take some wounds here and may run away with hunting instinct. Needs to be a 6 for Shelob. Another 2. She has absolutely bottled it and has lost the fight. She backs away. That was a very bad play there. Oh, that was not good at all. That is unfortunate there for the spider. The standard elf needing a 6. It's just a 5. And then again, 6s from the leader. He's got 3 attacks on 4, but he fluffs it as well. He gets just as bad as Shelob did for winning. So there is a nothing battle there between the leader and Shelob. We'll then just come along to finish the fights. We'll do this same fight from last time. It's shielding on 2. Let's see what happens. Oh, it goes to evil. So he backs away. And they need 6s to wound. 5. So close, but not enough to get the kill. I'll just stand him back up. And finally, it is the elf on foot. Now he's 2 attacks base. He's then got 3 attacks when on foot. And if he shields with his blades, he'd only have 4 attacks. So we might as well just fight normally. He's going to set the bar. He's got the fight value. It's a 5. That is a good effort there. We'll do then Gorbag as the big dice. And the little dice are the orcs. Can he get it? The 6 Gorbag wins. Ooh, that is nasty. Oh, so this could be a dead elf now. It is 6s to wound on the small dice and 5s on the big dice. First set of dice. And there it is, a kill. He has taken 1 wound then from either of these, and then we'll say Gorbag with the last kill there. Or in fact, we'll randomise it. 1, 2, 3, it's him, and a 4+, it's Gorbag. Don't actually know which dice that was. Let's clear some space. Drum roll. There we go. So it's him. He has killed the Elven Lord, and now he's going to be the target for the leader. He is now going to have to go on a rampage to try and avenge his brother. So we've just popped a yellow marker on that orc there, who is the target of his wrath. And that then is the end of the turn. That was another brutal turn, although not that bad for the elves. While they have lost one of their heroes, they did not lose as many as they could have, including their leader, who dodged a bullet there against Shelob. So the elves there did drop below 50%. They're now broken, and they are now approaching that critical 25% when the game will end. This could well be the last turn as we go into turn 5 priority. It goes to evil. That is another nasty dice roll in a long stream of nasty dice rolls. And a turn 5 move, and it could well be the last turn here. The orcs still controlling these 2 objectives, and now fully controlling that central one, have charged everything, and they've managed to get Shagrat Warleader, Spear Support and Shelob onto the Rivendell leader. Gorbag and the Twin Killer are attacking a Spearman. Everything just charging. Here the Bowmen are trying to claim that objective. And then up here, this 2-hander has gone for that objective. He allowed himself to get charged by the Elven Cavalry. If he manages to successfully shield and hold off the elf, he will neutralise that objective. So he's risking a lot with his life, hoping it pays off. And that is the end of turn 5 movement. There's no shooting, so we'll get stuck straight into the combats. Start of the combat phase, and the Twin and Shagrat are both going to strike. We'll do that strike roll off now. Ooh, both at fight 10 again. Wow, so that is going to be an epic fight. We'll come back to it in a moment though. We'll do Shagrat, and we'll do Gorbag rather, and Spearman against the Shielding Elf. Shielding Elf will actually have fight value. He's going to try and get the 6. Oh, it's a cocked 6. Can he get it? Oh, that's cocked again. 2. Oh dear, a 2 high against Gorbag and Friend. Gorbag and Friend there get the 4. Not very good, but high enough. 6s on the little dice, and Gorbag in the bigger dice needing 5s. Oh dear, no. That elf backs away. Just grab those in a moment, and we'll do this one up here. Shielding against Charging Knight. Can the Knight do some work? No. Not on a 3 high. The Knight is pushed back, and if the game ends now, he will not be securing that objective. Good work from the Orc there. We'll come to this 1-on-1. And it goes to the Elf. Needing a 5. He gets him. Getting some revenge now for Rivendell. That knight, in fact. That dismounted knight doing some work. We then have a 2-on-1. Archer fight. It goes to the Elf. And it's a wound! The elf there. Oh, this could be a Rivendell comeback now. It could all be over for Cirith Ungol. Well done, elves, on those fights there. We then have a 1-on-1. Uruk against Spearman. Oh, and on fight value, the Spearman wins. There is the banner. The banner roll doesn't do it. Needing 5s to wound. No, he backs off. Now, the rest of the fights will affect the trap. So, although actually it doesn't matter about being trapped because he'll be knocked to the ground if he loses. So, we'll do these fights. We've got the 1-on-1. A draw, so it goes to the elf with a high fight value. And at 6, kills him. The elves are clawing it back there with 3 kills this turn. They have broken and they are now enraged. Let's see if they can make it 4. 1-on-1 here. Ooh, nearly. It is a 5+ to wound. No, the elves are doing it now. But this could be a different result. So he's already fought. We'll just move him a touch so that we know. That is now going to be the elven leader against Shagrat, a spearman, and Shelob. Both at fight 10 then. It is leader on leader. We'll set the bar with Eladan and or Elra here. Oh, just a 5 high and he's out of might. Will Shagrat do it? Yes. Shagrat has won the fight there without Shelob or the spearman even rolling. So he is knocked to the ground. We'll do the double strikes from the spearman first. No wounds. And then we will do Shelob's strikes. We'll just double check what her strength is actually. So she is a massive strength 7, which against the defense 6 of the elf there should be 4s to wound. But because he has lost his brother, he gains +1 strength, but loses 1 defense, taking him down to D5, which means she only needs 3s to wound, and these are re-rollable. 3 attacks doubled, so 6 dice. Oh, that is nasty. 4 wounds, re-rolling those 2. 5 wounds, and he has 3 fate. Sorry, he has 2 fate, 2 wounds. He is dead. Shelob has absolutely smashed him to pieces. That is nasty. And that then is the end of the fight phase. End of turn 5, and it had begun to swing for Rivendell as they cut down 3 enemy warriors, but then at the last, their leader has fallen to Shelob's venomous fangs. And now, leaderless and broken, it looks like this very much will be the last turn now as we go into turn 6 priority. It goes again to Cirith Ungol, and there's nothing that Rivendell can do about it. End of turn 6 with Cirith Ungol priority. Everything has been charged. They still hold the objectives here, those 3. And this top objective is contested with that orc charging the knight. And then here, Shagrat and Gorbag are attempting to wipe out that spearman. Everything else just getting into nice combats, allowing Shelob to take on 2. And here it's the archer fight, with this archer here rolling his 6 to climb and charge, trying to help out his fellow archer. There's no shooting. We'll go straight into the combats. We'll start off with this 2-on-1. Oh, and this time the archer does not win. It's the 2 Mordor Uruk archers win, and they need 5s. They get him, and they have killed the elf and secured that objective. That has been a hard fought objective, but finally it has fallen. We'll do this one next. It's the banner and 1 against a warrior who's trapped. He's not going to shield. He's going to go brave. If he gets a 6, he automatically wins. Oh, a 5. It's doable. The bannerman won't be able to win it even if he gets a 6, so it's just him. He gets the 6. Oh, they are really rubbing salt in the wounds now of Rivendell. So these are now double strikes. I'll just make that one up. Double strikes. These guys back away. Needing 6s. No, he does survive. Pick the bannerman up. He's a top heavy banner, that one. But he is nice and easy to see on camera. We'll then do this one-on-one fight here. And it goes to good, but there is the banner, a 1. Does he win? Does he kill rather? No, he doesn't. So he is pushed back. They're absolutely destroying everything now. We then have charging Shelob. She is against 2. They're just going to fight it because the bowman has no shield. It's 3 on 2. And Shelob has lost. Does have a banner. Loses. Can they get 6s and wound her? No, she just backs away. We then have an awful lot of dice there from Shagrat, Gorbag, and 1 against a shielding elf. Can he do anything with his shield? He does get the 6. He does get the 6. It's tied fight value against Shagrat. So Shagrat's dice gets the 6. Gorbag and the Spearman don't even need to roll there to roll off. It's not an Elven Mage shield, so it's the normal 1 to 3, and that has won it there for evil. So we'll do Shagrat's dice, and he absolutely smashes him to pieces. He is a dead elf. Then the final fight is this one-on-one up there, and it goes to evil. Can he get a big 6 here and kill? No, he backs away. That is the last fight of the fight phase. With just 5 models left, Rivendell are battered and bloody, but they are not yet broken. And not yet 25%ed, rather. So with more than the 25% point, the elves have not lost enough to win the game, and it continues into turn 7. And again, it is Cirith Ungol priority. End of the move, and the elves have been charged. Shelob again going after 2, and here Gorbag with 2 friends on 1, and Shagrat with 2 friends on 1. They're looking to swiftly end this now, and there's the one-on-one up there. Let's go straight into these combats for what could now, said it a lot of times, could now be the final turn. We'll start off with the one-on-one up here, and it goes there to evil with the 6. The elf doing his best, but he just can't do it. A 5, not quite enough there to get the kill. We then have Shelob against 2. They're going to fight it. They're going to try and make her flee if they can wound her and make her fail a courage test. Oh, nearly. But she wins with her immense fight value of 7. These are now double strikes. She goes after 1 and kills him. And the other killing him there. That is nasty. Shelob eating 2 more elves. She must be getting very full now. Then we have Shagrat and 2 against a shielding elf. We'll just roll Shagrat. Oh, he absolutely bottles it. He's got his 2 friends who get the 6 for him. Which actually, yes, so they were 5s. So he has 1. His special shield allows him knockdown. So that guy's prone, although he's trapped. So these are doubled anyway. And that is a kill. So there we have quartered the elves. We'll do this last fight though. It's Gorbag against an elf. The elf can't shield, he's just got a bow. He needs the 6, a 5. He's not guaranteed the win, but he still might. We've got Gorbag needing a 6, no. Then we've got the Spearman, no. Banner reroll, no. So he has 1. And he's going to put that into the banner out of spite. No, he doesn't do it. He is one of the few remaining elves at the end of the game. End of the game, and it has been a brutal, brutal battle, proving that it is unwise to enter the realm of Shelob. Cirith Ungol have claimed 4 objectives, 1, 2, 3 and 4, completely uncontested for 2 points apiece, taking them to 8. The objective at the top has an elf and an orc, so that one is fully contested, so it's no points. And then the Cirith Ungol Legendary Legion have killed the enemy leader for 1 point and broken the enemy for 1 point, giving them a 10-0 victory. So that is the end of the game. A 10-0 victory to Shagrat and the Cirith Ungol Legendary Legion. He has smashed the forces of Rivendell and held onto his keep. The battle's definite MVP, though, is Shelob. She has been incredible, feasting on the sweeter meats. She has killed, barged, just generally been an absolute monster. She is definitely my new favourite. That has been an incredibly fun battle report to play. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. So I will say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.